Hello, everybody.
Wait, is this a new song?
Welcome. Welcome, one and
Hi.
all. Good to be with you post Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy holidays. Great start to the holiday season. The doctors at Inspire Wellness. I'm Dr. Dan Nitis. Join us now.
Great.
We have a couple of announcements. First, we want to talk about the...
Yeah, I think last time we mentioned this, but I just wanted to mention it again, that we have a little cabinet of things that are not directly medical related, but are super useful, I think, for healthcare. But so non-toxic candles, which I love. These are my absolute favorite, and I haven't tried this one yet, this Enlighten one, but they have crystals in them and essential
Lapis
oils.
Lazuli.
And I don't know, I mean, if you love candles, these are amazing. If you don't love candles, you're not going to want to spend the money on them, but
I love them.
you know, I love them.
Love
I love them. It makes me happy to light up
Makes
a
her
candle
happy.
in the evening.
So candles, we have crystals.
And then we still have the Shanghai. We have a lot of hematite, little tiny ones, a little black tourmaline, but mostly Shanghai. And this is for the radiation protection and anxiety. We both carry a piece. I have a chunk over behind my computer somewhere that I carry around with me all the time. So
Pyramid.
they're good for either putting around your computer desk or just stocking stuffers or something like that. And these are earrings. I forgot to talk about this last. Whoops.
Oops.
But these are earrings that my daughter made from crystals, we hand-picked together, and she wrote out what all the crystals are, and she made the combinations, based on healing properties of the crystals. So these are on sale as well. So I just wanted to show everybody what these look like. And that is the holiday sale for Inspire Wellness.
Outstanding.
And so then today we wanted to do a two-part series mostly on NAD IVs. So we've definitely talked about this before. I honestly think it's been a minute since we've talked about it. But
Yep.
we were trying to brainstorm, what the world or our Inspire Wellness community needs the most right now to try to focus on something in our office. And it honestly just came to me that NAD is the thing that can help so many people. So we've been using this for 5 years now or so.
Yep, since 2019.
So for a while, but it's always just been back in the corner. We haven't really been focused on it necessarily because.
Right. So let's take a step back for a second before we jump in. So the three-letter acronym is N as in Nancy, A as in Apple, D as in David. So NAD stands for nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. That's a mouthful.
Wow, good job.
And why is this important? Well, if you're looking at the cell as a single unit, it has different components. The nucleus is the brain, the ribosomes make the proteins, and the mitochondria, the energy producer. NAD is one of the building blocks of ATP, adenine triphosphate. So that's the energy that's being produced at the level of the mitochondria, and you need NAD in order to produce the endpoint, which is ATP. And what we've recognized since we've used it in 2019 is that our patients are often dealing with energy deficits. And so right off the bat, right, they're dealing with mitochondrial dysfunction. But I think more importantly, if you're anyone, in the United States, and that is going to represent at least, 2 out of every 3 people who are dealing with a chronic disease. Chronic diseases are energy dependent, very energy dependent. And so it makes sense that we see people who are very energy depleted, who have been, battling chronic issues for years, decades, and they just don't have any resources left. And so NAD has become a go-to for helping people overcome a lot of the chronic issues that we've seen, because you're basically flooding the body with energy and letting the body take care of, whatever the disruptive problem is. Do you want to jump in?
So yeah, when we first started, I used to think it was for the very specific patient population who had a lot of time and money, honestly, and who were very, very, very sick with specific things like opiate addiction, alcohol addiction, chronic pain, or TBI, concussions, things like that. Those were the big things that I was aware of that it works so well for. Since then, I've come to realize from a lot of reading, a lot of educating, and using it myself that it actually gives the cells energy to do whatever the cell function is, which is super important in healing anything. I mean, we're bombarded with people who have toxin overloads and infectious overloads, whether it's candida, Epstein-Barr, or COVID, whatever, parasites. And then the toxin, burden is astronomical, especially with things like mold or Lyme diseases was part of the chronic infections too as well. Right. And so that takes so much energy that you just can't keep up with it long term, maybe a short acute infection or an acute toxin exposure. But so we see these people who maybe used to get well quicker 10, 20 years ago through the normal functional medicine things that are just not getting to where they want to be. And this can be, it's a funny word, but this can be like the magic addition to really help whatever treatment you're doing work. So it can be a treatment on its own, like again for opiate addiction, alcohol addiction, benzo addiction, nicotine, stimulant addiction, any kind of addiction really. You have to be willing to do it. I mean, that's what the biggest use was probably about 10 years ago, I would say, is addiction. And it works extremely well for withdrawal symptoms acutely, and it also works really well for post-acute withdrawal symptoms. And, most of the time people just need one course of it, but sometimes, boosters are necessary. And we can talk in part 2 more of the logistics about the different ways to go about getting NAD and the costs and the time commitment and things like that. But again, basically for any kind of addiction issues, and you don't have to be an alcoholic. I mean, you could literally just wake up one day and say, I feel like drinking isn't good for my health. Every time I'm cooking dinner, I'm craving a glass of wine, so I'm going to see if this will help. I mean, maybe that's not your only issue. That's, everybody's tired, so that can help too. But, if you just need a little bit of a boost physiologically to get over even if it's not an addiction, the use of a certain substance. But certainly if you're chronically fatigued, if you've tried regular things, like this is not a substitute for doing wellness, living a clean lifestyle. I mean, the NAD results somebody's going to get if they eat McDonald's and drink a bottle of wine every night are clearly different than the results somebody's going to get who cleaned up their lifestyle, their diet. They know they're taking the right vitamins, they're sleeping, they're dealing with stress. So that's how you maintain the results, I feel like. You need to decrease your use of NAD, which all those toxins and stressors and things like that use up your NAD. So age alone reduces the NAD, but the toxic burden and the infectious burden are the other two things that really eat up our NAD. And like he said, it's important in the mitochondria because it gives electrons to things in this transport chain, which then pumps out ATP, which is your energy currency of your body. So chronic pain for sure. We've had a lot of success with chronic pain. Just recently somebody had knee issues, I think, and really, really good success. I would say 9 out of 10 people have amazing success. Definitely not 100%, and I wish we could figure out exactly who makes that 100% or not. It could be, lifestyle factors that we're not aware of. But it's definitely great for pain, chronic fatigue. Depression, it helps make neurotransmitters too. So, the brain, sometimes depression, if you think about Eeyore, how he was just such a slow person, giving him a little boost of mitochondria support might help that.
He would have found his tail.
Depression.
After all these years, who knew it was, they just needed
That's
NAD.
Funny. And I think it helps for anxiety too, but that's a little debatable. It can make you a little more energetic and revved up, but whatever's causing the anxiety, it can help heal. Certainly if you're dealing with mold illness, it can help with that as well.
Neurodegenerative.
Yeah, I think Parkinson's disease, I don't think we've used that for Parkinson's disease. I could be wrong. Dementia, maybe early onset or maybe preventive dementia for sure, but active, full-blown, like Alzheimer's, we have not seen that be helpful for that. And the other big thing, which patients kind of brought to us, honestly, I didn't even know it was a use for it, is just anti-aging. And I guess that's really important.
And that's that's been the popularity. If you look at how it's used on the East and West Coast, you have a lot of these IV clinics that offer it as an anti-aging treatment because it actually causes elongation of the telomere. So the telomere is the analogy, the analogy is it's like the aglet on your shoelace. So if you're looking at chromosomes, the tip of the chromosome is like an aglet. It's called a telomere.
I've never heard that word before.
What? Aglet?
Yeah.
So that's the plastic. That's.
I know now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You don't have they don't have.
Yeah, I don't even have aglets.
But anyway, so it's the shrinking of the telomere that is what leads to the aging of the chromosome. So it leads to aging of the body. If you can figure out ways to elongate the telomere, and NAD is one of those things that can do that. That goes a way toward reversing the aging process. So, and we've known that when we've been working with it, our choice was to not really promote it as an anti-aging remedy. Again, because we want people coming in who are they're looking at their health holistically from top to bottom, not just looking for this quick fix, but they're looking at all aspects of lifestyle and really trying to get in alignment with living their highest quality of life. And so folks watching may have heard of NAD. I've heard of that related to the anti-aging. So.
And then one of the things I wanted to mention today is I've been using it recently. So I've had it for years and I just never committed, probably the time commitment, I don't know. And so I've been doing it. I did a course of, I want to say maybe 6 days in a row, and then I've done several one-offs here. I did 500 milligrams on most days, and then now I'm doing 250 when I just get it infused, one day at a time. And it definitely helps my energy for sure. I mean, that's the biggest reason that I've been using it, and also to see what it's like and what the side effects are like. It helps brain fog a ton too, and that's a condition I didn't mention before. Usually brain fog is caused by something that we can find and fix, and then that'll go away, but sometimes not, and a lot of people are now, like diagnosing themselves with adult onset ADHD or ADD. It's probably not like really ADD. It's probably just some kind of chemical in your brain or yeast or lack of energy or infection or something like that, but the NAD can really help with that. So I just wanted to share some of the experience that I've had with it. It takes about 2 to 4 hours depending on how much you do. The first time it might take a little bit more than that. And the side effects that I've experienced were just a little bit of nausea or chest heaviness or muscle tightness, like your mitochondria are all freaking out, but that's only if it's run too high. Otherwise, if it's run at a normal rate, you don't feel anything, so we just adjust the dose easily. So I'm kind of happy that I personally have experienced those side effects, so I can kind of explain them to patients when they're happening, so they know there's nothing wrong.
And we'll
get into more detail.
Part 2 is going to be on December 17th, so 2 weeks from today. We're going to go into more detail about the experience of, like, if you're doing IV NAD, what is that like, and you kind of alluded to length of time and whatnot. So we kind of put together the structure for what the infusion looks like. So a little more detail on those types of logistics in 2 weeks.
By the way, do I look younger?
Much younger.
See,
Not a day over 47.
How old am I? 49.
Almost 48.
Nah.
Aren't you? Yeah.
No, I'm almost 50.
Well, no, 49. You're going to be 49.
That's funny.
Wow.
See, he didn't know.
49.
It's working.
Fantastic. You look fantastic. Anything else that you wanted to share with your own
No, just
experience?
again, really keep it on your radar. If one, you have the time and you want to invest in your health, I think it's good for every single person, no matter what's going on. Excuse me. But very specifically, if you're trying to get better, you're doing all the things, and you still seem to be stuck, and maybe energy is one of the primary components, and your energy is not related to just a C or a thyroid problem.
Excellent. All right. Well, we look forward to hearing more from you about the logistics and what your experience has been with the infusions in 2 weeks. So we will be back on the 17th, and we'll go over more information on the in-office experience of NAD and other logistics that go along with that. So we are right up against it. So great.
Stop by and get some stocking stuffers if you want.
Yep. If you need stocking stuffers, if you need any
supplements for gifts too.
And aren't we doing a discount?
Yeah, the 20% off is on everything that we sell here.
Full scripts?
Full Script does have a discount. Yeah, it's for the place that we go through, the third-party site online to sell supplements is also having a, I don't know what they're at, Cyber Monday discount or something like that.
Excellent. So, if there's anything you need help with, functional medicine, IVs, sauna, etc., medical cannabis, 216-965-9303. We greatly appreciate your support and look forward to continuing to help you be the healthiest version of yourself. Remember, it's your time to thrive. Let us inspire you. Have a great rest of the week and a great holiday season as it kicks off, and we'll see you back in a couple weeks. Love you guys.
Bye, everybody.
Take good care.